you look at it and what are the points that you faced and you realize ki, oh, it's a fake news? It can be new. It can be right news, right? I got it from somewhere. I took a screenshot and I shared with my kids and I told them it's news. It's going to happen. It's future. Anything can happen. But how will a child will figure out that this is a fake news? And this is a very important skill in current scenario. There are multiple fake news all over the world. How will you figure out? How did you figure out that this is a fake news?
Ma'am, if it's from NASA, it should be accompanied by their logo.
Yes, right. It should be accompanied by the logo, the source. The source is missing, and anonymous source. Most of you figured it out. Then there should be other things as well. So fun thing is there is no logo of NASA. The source is missing. It simply says anonymous. So you picked it up. There is no data to support. That's fine. Like everybody figured it out. There is no
Ma'am,
source. It says there's anonymous sources. Other than that,
Ma'am, it should be official NASA website.
yeah, it should also be on our official NASA's website.
Ma'am, the newspaper that has printed this news has to be an authentic and reliable one.
Yes. Okay, that's good. So this was actually analyzing. So what you did, you first analyzed it. You looked at the newspaper, you read the entire thought, first it. So you were analyzing it. And then what you did, then you start questioning that there is an anonymous source. So as Sheetal ma'am said, fact checking the website. So most of you will also check that is there, as you said, there is no NASA logo. It should also be on the NASA's official website. So what you did, you analyzed it, then you questioned it, then you checked it, you did a fact check, and then you made a reasoned decision that this news is a fake. So was your critical thinking and problem solving. You compared it with another sources also. Common sense knowledges. These are very common skills, and these are all the soft skills again. These are the soft skills. You created with AI. We saw it like how it is. So even if I'm creating with AI, I can change it a little bit because I just need to look at it. So what you did, I took a newspaper, I created a fake news, and I wanted to spread it. And it happens that we simply spread. We don't analyze, we don't question. And because we are not analyzing or questioning, we are not able to make the reasoned decision. That's what happened with students as well. So it's both. If the skill is required, if the student already had the critical thinking skill, we also need to upgrade. So this was the first skill. And again, it is a future skill. I say like future ready. It's not the future skill. You need to have it now, but it will make you future ready. The next is, okay, creativity and innovation. Now, creativity and innovation. So it is like creativity is not something creating very big, creating something very different. Creativity and innovation is taking something that is very small and making something new with it or finding a new use of the same. So you have to generate a new idea and simply turn them in reality. That is creativity and innovation. And if you see, I have again asked two questions. You can either give me three new uses of a spoon or you can invent a new use of a paper clip. So if you see, I am not making an invention. The spoon is already there. We have been using the paper clip for so long. But can you figure out three new uses or a new use of paper clip? So here what you're doing is you are putting your creative hats on and you are innovating something. That is what you are doing. So I want you to put your creative and innovative hats on and answer whatever comes to your mind. Paper clips are hair clips, yes. Pin
Ma'am,
up
spoon.
sarees.
Ma'am, spoon can be used as we can use it as gardening tool.
Yes, it can be.
And paper pins we can use to clip our hair.
Clip our hair. We can paint. Paper clip for pulling zip. Crafts for wings of butterfly.
Two spoons can be tied together and can be used as tongs.
Oh, yes, we can do that.
Ma'am, a paper clip can be used as a switch in an electric board. When we are making them make a electric circuit, the paper clip can be used as a switch. And a spoon can be used for showing images
Hmm.
with the help of making them use as a concave and a convex mirror. It can be used.
But concave and a is something, ma'am, that we're already doing. Find something more creative and innovative.
Okay, the clip can be used as a switch.
Yes, the clip can definitely be used as a switch. Like I like somebody saying कि वो आपको zipper अगर टूट जाता है तो you can put it there. We do that. We also put that safety pins. We
Ma'am,
have been doing it.
using spoon for crochet, the knitting.
Yes, using spoon for the crochet. You can do that. You can make a chain, a neck piece.
A
Yes, and for
spoon
certain
can be used to
paintings
make a
also we
pom
can
pom
use
as well,
that.
ma'am.
Paper
Pom
clip can
pom.
be used to tie the shoes also if you run out of shoelace.
Yes.
A spoon can be used to make a woolen pom pom as well.
Okay. I
Can
have never tried it. I need to figure it out. So somebody also said a massage tool. Yeah, we do that. You know, we will keep the cold spoons in the fridge
painting
and
can
then
also
we
be done with
also
the
do
help of
that.
Yes,
spoon.
ma'am.
Yeah, it
For
can also be
massaging
used to
our
scratch the backs also.
The spoon can also be used as a geometrical instrument to draw the petals of a flower, either, or an outlining to, if it is an oval spoon, and outlining of oval shape.
Okay, yeah. So now if you see, this is creativity and innovation. So you would like gardening tool and a spoon with a marble. We have been doing this, Vivek, sir. So this is not creativity or innovation. This is like already we have been doing it. So again, repeating the same fact, creativity and innovation is something like you ask the students to create best out of waste. That is where it's the creativity. You must have seen certain videos where an artist is rearranging some metal scraps, and the moment they change the light, it creates an entirely new painting on the wall. So that is their creativity. And if you see, these creative people are getting money out of it. So that is creativity and innovation, that everything is existing. You're just finding a new way to do it. Like what I did once, which was never to be repeated again, but I learned my lesson that I lost that page, that rubber thing of my earring. I had a chingum with me. I chewed it and I put it right there. It worked. It worked as a stopper. But what went wrong? That now my entire hair was stuck on that chingum. So I had to dry it out with a dryer so that it comes out. It was a creativity and I was very proud of myself by the time I did it. But when it was the time to remove my hair from that chingum, I realized it was a poor decision. So these are also type of creative things that we do and we never want to discuss because these are the poor decisions that we take in our lives. Okay. So first was your critical thinking. Second is your creativity and innovation. Then here comes another skill is your digital literacy and AI readiness. So yes, as we discussed, I also read some of the chats that said using the technology responsibly and effectively, right? All of us have been using the technology. We know how to do it. But again, if it's a friend, it can also be a foe. So you have to be very responsible when you're using it. Like if you say most of us have all of you seen this Gemini and the Ghibli trend going on these days?
Yes, ma'am.
How
Yes, ma'am.
like
Yes, ma'am.
okay, so like did you do that?
No,
No.
ma'am.
Great. Even if you have done that, please like try not to do it because see, AI is like a child. You are feeding the data to that child, and that data, as a potty mouth as the child is, that data is available to everybody. You tell the kid a secret and they will run to the person and tell them that secret. That's how AI is. Whatever data you are putting, yeah, it's not safe. Whatever data you are putting in it, specifically the personal data, it nowhere says that they will not distribute it. There is no commitment, there is no guideline that says that they will not distribute it. They will. So again, if you are using AI for making your worksheets, because when you are making worksheets, you are taking data from some of the papers, some of the research articles, that is fine. But do not put your personal details in it. Even when you are making result, if you are using ChatGPT for creating results for your students, ensure that you are not putting much of a detail, which means if you are trying to get a result, like if you have marks right in front of you, you want to get something done out of it, try removing the marks, like the name or the grade, one thing, and AI will have the half of the data. But if you say like Niharika Saxena studying in 12th and you're already putting my school name over there, it's a data that is available and anybody can figure it out. So you have to use the technology very responsibly. And students know how to do it. They can create multiple videos. But for us to use it effectively, you also should know how to do the prompt learning. You have to learn how to give a good prompt. So if you are using it to create a lesson plan, if you are not using it, please use it. It's a wonderful tool. It will help you. It will save a lot of your time. So if you're not doing it, start doing it. Try it. And but what you have to do is put the command in a very clear manner. Like if you have to teach for 40 minutes, put the duration, put the lesson that you're going to teach. Also, let the AI know, let the chat GPT know that you will need 5 minutes of an introduction or an icebreaker to that topic. You require 15 minutes for the content discussion. You require 5 minutes for the MCQs or the check. So, this is how if you do it, it will save your time again. And that will be the effective use of technology. Or you can flip the classroom and ask the students to create something and let them teach it. So you will learn how to do something new with them as well. So that's your digital literacy and AI readiness. Then comes your adaptability and resilience. What is resilience? Anyone? What do I mean when I say resilience?
Ma'am, to keep on doing something no matter how hard circumstances get, you fall down and then you get up again, try again and again. You don't give
Yes.
up basically.
Yes. Do not giving up, being able to bounce back even after there are challenges. The inner strength, right? Great. Thank you. So
You're
it's
welcome.
not, yeah, it's not just that a student should be resilient or adaptable. You have to be adaptable and you have to be resilient solid. So you can adapt. You walked in a classroom, you realized that students are not in a mood to learn today. You wanted to teach a very serious topic, but then you realize that even if you teach today, half of them are not interested, or you have a cultural practice going on, and half of the students are not in the classroom, half of the students are eating or whatever is happening, you are always adapting to it. You always change your lesson plans according to it. You always just, if the students are not interested, you shorten your lesson plan, you change your topics. But adaptability is not only in the classroom, it is also outside the classroom. So when you are talking about upscaling, all of us as an individual, when we start working somewhere, we start making friends, we start liking the environment. We are so much okay with the facts that whatever going in our lives. Okay. And we just adapt to it. We just don't try to change. We feel like, oh my God, the change is going to be such big thing. But have you heard of that the theory of the frog? Frog in the boiling water?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
great,
ma'am.
great. So adaptability leads to that. That you are so much you're adapting to every single thing that you don't know when to stop. So you had to, if you even if you're adapting, try to change the circumstances. Like you are a teacher, you are loving it. And you're so adapted to it that I don't want to change my career anymore. It will be difficult for me to change everything. How will I do that? How will my other colleagues be? You will adapt to it. So you will be able to cope the changes. You will be able to cope all the challenges that are around you. Also, so if you see, online classroom was a difficult part. But COVID happened. All of you went to online teaching. First few months were a task. Students, there was noises, your place were noisy, everybody was talking, it's time to eat, somebody else is running behind you. Students are just sitting, they are eating, they are sleeping, parents are sitting in the classroom, asking ma'am, what is this and what is that? And you adapted to that change. Now, if you get the chance that okay, there's going to be online classes for 3 days, you're okay with it. You will take those online classes every other day. So you're already adapted to the challenge, and that is also, and then comes your resilience. So if there is something, if there is a setback in your life, if there is a setback due to any point, any reason, you always come back. Even if you cannot, try to build that. Learn how to do it. So these are the topics, these are some of the skills that are very important. And these are again the soft skills. Then one of the soft skills again that I talk about SDG. I believe all of you are aware of the SDGs. We have been having like you must have been having the sessions, the discussions on SDG, multiple lesson plans are related to SDGs. But what I want you to tell me is these are your 17 goals. All of us are aware we are aligned to quality education. We want our students to get the quality education. But as an individual, what do you think? Which are the few goals that you can follow every day at an individual level? So, quality education is you, the school system, the students, the parents, everyone. But if there are other 16 SDGs, what is the one thing? What is the one SDG goal or two SDG goals that you can do it individually? Like for me, it is going to be zero hunger. And how it is possible? I will try not to waste food. No poverty. Goal one. I would also want you to tell me how. Like for zero hunger, it's not the hunger related to me. It's the others who don't get food. And how can I do it? I will stop wasting food. Okay, zero hunger. How, ma'am? How will you do it? I will need more answers as well. That what is the goal that you are aiming to, and how will you do it?
Ma'am, by spreading the awareness amongst the children, not to waste food while we are having break time together with the students. The teacher is inside the classroom. She can monitor the children and she can just have a chit chat during the break time with them and see to it that they finish their food. And very healthy conversation can take place with respect to make them aware.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah.
Sharing the food, donating the food. I mean,
Hmm.
if some fast and all is going on as a good deed, donating it, feeding the strays on birthdays instead of having a very big gala or party, like donate it to some charity, old age home, orphanage homes, like that.
Yes. And others. I also have somebody telling me goal peace.
Ma'am, good health and well-being.
And how will you do that? How will you ensure it?
Ma'am, by telling them and basically focusing in the class about the advantages of being healthy, because if they're not healthy, that should be the utmost priority, I believe, for today's generation. Because if they are not healthy enough, they won't be able to take care of anything.
Okay,
So,
I also want to
telling
add.
them about the foods,
Yeah.
nutrition, about their well-being, how to take care of others also. Only if they're healthy, they'll be able to manage all that.
Okay, one thing I want teachers to think you like outside the classroom as well, because I understand you have those 35, 40 students, and it's a big chain that when you tell those 30 students to do something, they will go back their homes, they will tell their parents, they will tell their family, the number will automatically reach 30 to 70. Then those 70 people will go and tell others. So it's a chain reaction. But on that another level, if you're not in school, so we're talking about your upscaling as well. That even if other few after few years, if you're not in school, you're pursuing what you liked, what will you do? There's a responsible consumption and production. I got an answer, Archana ma'am. Yes. Pep talks.
Ma'am,
Yes, Neha ma'am.
ma'am, we can organize food donation drives
We can organize food donation drives. Yes.
where student can bring extra meal.
Again, so what I want you to do is, for the time being, like for a few minutes, think outside your school. Like as an individual, so we are talking about your career upscaling. So some of you will remain teachers in the next few years. Some of you will change your career. If you are
Ma'am,
still
you're
a teacher,
not audible. The voice is breaking.
okay. So what I'm asking is that most of us, most of you are answering, keeping in your mind that you are still in the classroom or in the school. Because we are talking about the career upscaling, which means some of you will be in school in next few years, or some of you will change your career pathways. So if you're changing your career pathways, how will you ensure that some of these goals are being followed?
If
Um,
extra food we have made, we can give it to our watchmen, house help, some
Yes.
Ma'am,
chocolates, some sweets are extra. Diwali time is here, Christmas time is here. Giving
Hmm.
those extra sweets to, house help, people who are nearby. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be especially house help. Anybody you see who is in need of food, we
Hmm.
can do that.
Right.
Ma'am, we could also, when we join and we talk about career upscaling, when we
Hmm.
join corporates, they have their CREs activities. Like you could be teaching, schools where students don't come from the same community like you, or you could be, having different food drives for the orphanages
Hmm.
and, the widows. So there are various things which we do, and across these goals.
Right. So it can also be like as I wanted to point out that if it is clean water and sanitation, we need to ensure that as an individual, we are not throwing any type of garbage in the water, in an open water. See, we have this habit. Most of us, we don't try to find the dustbin nearby. So let's start carrying a polythene. If you are traveling somewhere, we can carry a any kind of paper bag with us. We can keep the all the it in it and then just put it in a somewhere in a dustbin. Then you have an affordable and clean energy. You can move towards solar panels. You can move towards the use of solar panels. If you live in an area where there is too much of wind, you can move to the wind energy. So these are again the topic. Like then climate action. Can we decrease the use of AC? That's the first thing. Like when we were studying, we used to study that there will be a global warming, there is a hole in the ozone layer, there will be change in the weather. Now, do you see there is a change in the weather? There are multiple cloud bursts happening in Himachal and Uttarakhand. It never happened that much, but it is happening. So we are facing. We learned it. We learned about something 10 years back, and it is happening there. Yes, so you can partner with the local organizations. But again, these are things as an individual, what all can be done, right? So whenever you talk about the SDG goals as well, you have to figure it out which type of goal as an individual you can use. Like gender equality. You will try your level best to cover up, like talk about the gender equality. But then again, when you will talk about gender equality in a classroom, you will find some or other parent who will say something in a way, or a child who will say something in a way, and you will feel that it's not gender equality, but it's not their fault. It's the conversation that happens at house. So you can lead some
Yes.
part of webinars, some sort of sessions regarding the gender equality as well. So again, but we have to start with the individual first. So these were the skills that I wanted to talk. That these are some of the very important skills required. Now, if you go again, moving back to my points, just give me another minute. Yes. So going back to the career upscaling. Because it was upscaling, I wanted to discuss all the skills that you required, and then we are moving to next part, which is coming back to how you will upscale yourself. So if you have any questions so far, please ask. I would be more than happy to answer that. If not, then I will move ahead. Okay. Let's moving ahead. So what I did, since most of you are in the same, okay, I'll go ahead. Thank you, ma'am. So what I'll do, because most of you are already experienced teachers, you already have years of experience in your classroom. It's not necessary to switch your career to just have that upgradation. You can also upgrade yourself, upscale yourself within the school education. Because again, That is something all of us like to do. So these are now your some of the pathways. So you can have, we'll start with the pedagogical masteries. You teachers are already doing your lessons, you're already subject teachers. Some of you are also the mother teachers, most of you are the subject teachers, TGTs, PGTs, PRTs, but all of you have a mastery in particular subject. Now what you can do is, you can again start learning more, start your change your teaching styles. You can change your teaching style to your inquiry based learning, experiential learning. You can have your art integrated teaching. This way you can be teaching multiple classrooms also. Then try putting on the STEAM and STEM approaches in your classroom. Then you can also talk about that if you know that you can teach the diverse learners, the special needs, the gifted learners. And if you like that part, if you do not have the ability, if you do not have the right education, you can also go ahead with it. Why don't you go and study something about it, that how to deal with the differentiate that with the diverse learners. There are schools for gifted learners, there are schools for special needs children. So if that thing resonates with you, you can study about it, and then you can again, because we already know how to teach, but to teach the special needs, to teach the gifted learners, you need to have a little bit more of the skill, hard skills, not the soft skills. So you can learn, you can also do some assessments for learning. So these are all the things that within being a teacher, while being a teacher, you can start doing all of this. So you have to be take a pedagogical mastery in it. If you are out of touch with your books, if you're out of touch with your articles, start reading it. Like there is no stopping. If you are a learner, there is nothing that can stop you. So if you're talking, if I say about inquiry based learning, you are doing it in your classroom. You have a classroom. Do it as an experiment. Do it as a lab. Take your classroom as a lab and start figuring out the results. Then you can also publish it somewhere. You can publish it. There are multiple papers, there are multiple websites available. You can publish it. So these are the things that while being a teacher, you still can do it. If you're talking about the STEAM approaches, you can also tell how to do it. First thing is that you need to learn it. All of this is something that you have to learn first. So you have to get a mastery on it. If you're already doing it, but you don't have the proper education, look for the courses that are available. We understand that you already have too much of a workload. You might not get time to be physically present somewhere, but there are again multiple websites that provide the online classes. So try taking out time for yourself. That's the first major thing. In upscaling, we all of us agree that as a teacher, you don't have much time. But the first step towards upscaling is finding time for yourself. That's very important. Take out that 1 hour. Start with 1 hour in a week. Move to 1 hour every day, and you will see a gradual change. जैसे आप बच्चों को कहते हो ना that why don't you create a timetable, and you figure out that it's very difficult to follow a timetable. You start doing it and you will know how. So for upscaling yourself, skills, individual, happiness, anything that you like, even whatever you are working with, start with that 1 hour to yourself. That's very important. Then academic growth within the school. Again, sticking to within the school. How will you do it? You can become a subject matter expert. So if you see, there are multiple roles that are available for subject matter experts, publishers. There are multiple publishers who are okay with taking teachers as subject experts. They can be authors. You can be examiners. You can be the curriculum designers. You can host. You can give those CBSC and the IB and ICSC professional development programs. There are also master trainers. So you can become a trainer as well, because teaching is anyways your forte. If you can teach those 40 naughty, noisy kids in a classroom, you can mentor 100 to 150 teachers in a session. So do not doubt, don't doubt. As a teacher, you're already a mentor. So it's just that you have to upscale yourself. Then you can also, as I read somebody telling me Olympiads, you can, yes, Prachi ma'am, you can be a resource person. Yes, you can be that. You can also create Olympiads for your school. You can also run Olympiads. You can have exhibitions in the school. I understand again the exhibition will be an additional part, but once you start, if you love doing it, because students anyways learn experiential learning, and who doesn't love free time as a kid? Who doesn't love free time? So you will get time to organize the project based exhibitions. You can organize other type of exhibitions as well. You can call out the local NGOs in your school to do an exhibition. Let's not stick those exhibitions to only festivities. It's not an exhibition, it's just a mela type of where people will come, eat and go. So it can be, yes, literature festivals. You can attend the literature festivals as an author, or you can actually hold a literature festival in your school. So this is going to be an extra hat, but it will be according to what you want it to be. You can moderate them. If you're already doing it, look for other reasons that you can go to other schools as well. There are multiple in-house competitions. You're already taking your kids over there. So वो जो festivities होती हैं उसको not just do not keep them as festivities. Look for the growth areas there. If there is a teacher who is a wonderful moderator, try shadowing them. Just look how they talk. If you love a person or if you love a resource person, the way they talk, the way they express themselves. If you love a dancer, how you can inculcate here, how will you teach it? Even if you're a maths teacher and you love dancing, you can add both of things because maths is also steps and dancing is also steps. So you have to figure out what you want to. Now the next is leaderships and admin roles. So if you'll see, I am sticking to the within the school is because I do realize you all are very much experienced and you would love to grow in your specific areas. So you can be an academic coordinators, you can be the HOD in charge, you can be the activity coordinator. Then there is a progression these days, vice principals, principals, director roles. If not that, you can also help in creating policies, school policies, because you are there with the child. You are talking to the parent. You are talking to your principal. So you are listening to all the voices and you know what is good for your student. So you can create those policies. You can also create the timetable. You know which teacher, like, you also understand which topic is important. After lunch then you can put some of the topics so you can manage the entire school. And the resource planning, so if you want to handle, if you want to conduct some type of webinars, you want to conduct some type of workshops, it's not easy because first, if you have to conduct a workshop, as I said, resource planning, if you have to conduct a workshop, the first thing is what type of workshop do you want, what type of session do you want. So you figure out a session that, okay, like if today the one person who planned, they figured out a workshop that it should be upscaling with teachers. Now the second point is, do we want it online or is it offline? Okay, figured it out. That if it is an offline workshop, you need to figure out the venue. The venue should be able to hold 500, 1000, like 500, 700 teachers like that. If it's an online, then who is going to take it? Who is the good resource person? And at what time so that everybody is on the same page, nobody loses it, right? So if you see now, some of the teachers was not able to join, so what we did, we also asked for a YouTube link. So that is also a resource planning, that these are the teachers that we have, these are the teachers that you have, this type of requirement is there, how will the requirement be fulfilled? Anybody can come and do a webinar, but is it going to be fruitful? How will you judge that whether the workshop was fruitful or not? So there can be a feedback form. If there's a feedback form, you will be the one person creating that feedback form. And again, when you create a feedback form, that I have observed mostly, it shouldn't say good or bad. Because if I say, was the workshop good? Half of them will say yes, some of them will say no. And that's it. Yes, ma'am.
SHAREN सेकंड नेम भी लगाते हो आप कुमार हाँ
Okay.
SHAREN
Oh, again, yes and no, I understand is itself an answer. But when you are talking about, wait, sis. When you're talking about feedback, we talk about the constructive feedback. So whenever you create something like that, let's see, like, do not put it on a good or bad. It's very easy to create a yes or no questionnaire. But that yes or no will not give you any value. So you have to figure out, even if the assessments, when we were talking in the previous one, where I said, like, let me just go back here, that when you are doing an inquiry based learning, your inquiry based learning or your assessment for learning shouldn't be a yes or no. It should be something where you are getting an actual feedback, whenever you are getting a constructive feedback. So again, assessment for learning and assessment of learning needs to be different. If you're creating an assessment, you need to be sure, if you're a person who's creating assessment for other teachers as well, you need to be sure that you are creating, whether you are creating the assessment of learning or you are creating assessment for learning. So these are the mastery skills. These are the growth that you can have within the school. Okay. Then the next is, yes, ma'am. As the library, I think somebody asked about the school libraries. You already have a school library in your school, but what you can be as a person, you need to check on the books that are available. Other than that, are the books really that upgraded? Because most of the time, if a child is working in a library, they're either looking for the reference book related to the senior ones are looking for the reference book, but the younger ones, they're looking for the comics, they're looking for the story books and everything. So you have to be aware a little bit on what type of books are there. What is that a child wants? If you have students who are actually coming to the library daily, and they're not able to find the particular book or the particular genre they're looking for, they will stop coming. And then, if they're coming, now the libraries are also virtual. So while sitting in India, they can literally look for any book that is not available and they can still read it. So if you are setting up a library in your school, look for the genres that the students like to read. References books, very much required. Storybooks, if storybooks are there, look for the stories. See, the stories that we used to learn, पुराने जमाने की बात हो गई, अब कोई नहीं पढ़ता उनको. अब ये बच्चे क्या पढ़ेंगे? You already know, just looking for those books as well. Now moving to the next part, how will you upscale your classroom as well? Okay, you're upscaling yourself, that's fine. How will you upscale your classroom as well? You can have a blended learning strategies. Anybody who knows what a blended learning strategy is? What a blended learning is?
Yes.
Yes, Sheena ma'am, the content of today's book should be checked. Again, that's a part, that's a job now. Like as a learner, if you're looking for the librarian or the teacher who is responsible for library, you have to look for the books. Okay, I got yeses, but I also want to know what is a blended learning strategy. And I would love to have the answer in the chat box so that we can have a discussion on it. Integrating all subjects, that is fine, but how will you do it? Like, if I'll give you an example, okay, both online and offline. So, both online and offline is fine, but I'll still stick to the offline part where we're talking about integrating subjects and traditional and conventional. Okay, how? I would also always want an answer on how. How will you do that? Part of the lesson happens in person and part through online platforms, right? Differentiated type of learning. How, Manju ma'am? Again, आप कराते कैसे हो मुझे ये बताओ. Role plays how? In person and
मैम
using
जैसे
smartboard.
हिंदी
Yes.
में जैसे हिंदी से रिलेटेड कोई चैप्टर हो, जैसे मैंने कुछ भी पढ़ाया, तो
Hmm.
उस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड कुछ
Hmm.
अलग सा, मतलब उससे रिलेटेड कोई, मतलब आपके देश में या कहीं, जैसे बादल से बूंद से हम बता दिए तो ये बच्चों को बता सकते हैं बादल कितने किलो मतलब मीटर पे फटता है, या ये प्रोसेस कैसे होती है, ये सारी चीजें बताना अलग सा, मतलब उसमें कुछ करके ज्ञान उन्हें तथ्य से थोड़ा सा, जैसे मान लीजिए खेल से रिलेटेड कोई चैप्टर है तो उन्हें हम खेल के बारे में पहले इंट्रोड्यूस करा दें दिस टाइम.
Yes, that's great. Thank you, Manju ma'am. Okay, so Cecilia ma'am said flipped classroom. You also said in person and using smartboard. Yes, how will you manage a flipped classroom? How will you do it? Like we all keep saying flipped classrooms, but how? What are the strategies that you will use if there's a flipped classroom or if there's a theme-based learning, as Rakesh sir said?
Ma'am, so just now we talked about the flipped classroom, and blended learning. So now if
Hmm.
there is a flipped classroom, so recently what I've tried is giving some things to do for the children to research online. Okay.
Hmm.
So instead of me doing that research, the students are doing it. The same research they are applying in the home, like solutions I just messaged. So if there are different types of solutions, how would you use these solutions in your art? That is the painting colors. That's the
Hmm.
knowledge of chemistry they are using in the art, and also the things that are found in the kitchen. And then based on that, like honey, then they have to research more about honey. So this is a goes with all. It's experiential, blended learning, and flipped classroom all together.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am getting wonderful answers in the chat box also related to research, the fact sheets, and everything. But again, I will give one more example, and I want you to tell me how will you do it in a blended learning, where I'm going to talk about the integration of multiple subjects. So, how are you going to integrate English and maths together? How will you like? So, if you're teaching maths, oh no, you're teaching English. So you're teaching English, but you also need to integrate maths in it. How will you do it? Any English or a maths teacher who can help? No, so you're
Ma'am,
teaching English, but you need to integrate maths in it.
ma'am, can I give an example?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Suppose you're teaching English, you're teaching them calendar, how to
Hmm.
read the calendar. So in that you can teach them first, second, so cardinal, ordinal number also comes, and they learn how to count the months. They know how to count the days. So maths and English, and they also learn the spellings of the words. So because I teach little children, I'm telling you about example of little
Yes,
children.
I understand that. I understood with the example. But the point again is most of us feel different that teaching, integrating maths and English at a younger level is very easy. But I would like to know some answers from the teachers who are teaching 7th and 8th. Okay, for the teachers who are telling me that we can give sentences or statements, passage in mathematics, it is you are teaching maths with the help of English. I flipped it. I am asking that you are teaching English with the help of maths. There is a difference. So you are giving it's a maths topic, multiplication hai, aapne pura okay, now I got an answer. Research a topic and then pictorial representation related to the poem and prose. Pictorial representation will be maths. It should be graphical, right?
No, ma'am. Actually, I mean like the pie graph, the bar graphs,
Okay.
Yeah, in
Okay.
that
Okay.
context.
Fine. Creative writing, which will nudge them research mathematical solutions. Shilpa ma'am. Okay, Shilpa ma'am, this is an example of teaching maths with help of English. So as ma'am gave this, Elizabeth ma'am also gave, that was for younger. I also have Miss Sharma, she gave a topic that you need to research a topic and then do the graphical representation. That is teaching maths using English. There is difference. There is, sorry, teaching English using maths.
Ma'am,
So
by
that,
using word problems?
ma'am, word problems is again कि आप maths पढ़ा रहे हो, you're teaching maths. The language is English.
Okay. Hmm.
So now you get the difference. Now, most of us,
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
also doing it. That the problems are in English, but we are learning maths out of it. But as we got this answer from Elizabeth ma'am that app calendar, you are teaching the numbers using English. And then you have also, I had this answer from Ms. Sharma where she said that first you research a topic, which was in English, and then you did a representation in maths. That's how it is different. And that's why whenever I take a session, I ask this question that how will you differentiate it? Encourage, yes, I got another answer. Encourage students to write short explanations of how they solved a maths problem. This is also good. Like write it, like we never do this in maths now. But in English, you ask them to write short passage and everything. So this is also a very good idea. Teaching set theory using English, yes. Now the senior math teacher, the
Ma'am,
school.
adjectives of number, cardinal, ordinal numbers can be taught through that as well. Adjectives of number we can correlate.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, when you are doing it, you need to be just a little bit sure about that. What type of which side of integration are we following right now? because integrating English in every subject is very easy. It's an English medium school, we teach in English, or maybe it's an Hindi medium school, we teach in Hindi. So that is a language integration in every subject. But how are we integrating other subjects in language? That is also what is very important. Okay, newspaper articles and interpret with data interpretation. Yes. Now this is the thing. Now you got my question, and now I'm getting such wonderful answers. So now whenever you are teaching, whenever you are doing an integrated or blended learning strategies, keep in mind. Then smart classroom management can be done. This is like we are talking about running videos in the classroom. We are talking about online and offline classrooms. That some of the teachers also said that some part will learn in the book and some part will be shown on the smart board. So your smart board needs to be working. You can also use AI, the gamifications, the audio visuals if possible. There are also multiple ways where there are multiple videos. If you're not on Instagram, use the good part of Instagram. Try searching many scientific topics. There was also a luminescent experiment that was going on in the Instagram. People keep doing different things. So you can also find some nice AR, VR on Instagram. You can keep it from there because there are multiple people who are very talented. So they are using Instagram as a platform to showcase their talent. So use that technology from there as well. Instead of going directly to YouTube, there are multiple pathways where you can go for. I also pick some of my activities from there. So yeah, I know it's very cringe, but it's a good thing to do it. So you can also become an ICT coordinator. Now, whenever we go to class, we go to schools, the first thing that we converse with the ICT coordinator that what they're looking for, what type of upgrade they're looking in the schools. And you can also become the certified trainers. So Microsoft, Google, these are some of the names that certify the teachers. You can also get certification from other companies as well. You can, again, as I said, you need to find out 1 hour for yourself. You need to figure out that time for yourself if you want to upscale, if you want to upgrade, and if you want to be the better version. Even if it is very difficult, start with 30 minutes, but make it a habit of 1 hour daily. Again, getting up early is a question because you already have your schools. Then you come back running, you have multiple things to do. So, one part can also be like you have to create question papers, you have to create lesson plans. In that case, digitally upscale yourself. Use AI. It's a wonderful tool, and you will see that it is very easy to create worksheets, it's very easy to create question papers. It will have some issues, but you just need to look at it once, and your job there is done. So it's not going to replace you, but it is going to be helpful. Okay. Then one part again is how you can upscale yourself is by counseling and mentoring. So there are most of the schools have teachers, but very less schools have a school counselor. And the school counselor who is educated enough to understand, well qualified. Anybody can counsel, anybody can talk. But are you qualified enough to do that? That is the question. So you can also take some degree. Again, first take that qualification, then you can do a counseling and mentoring. If you see that you are good in talking, and when you talk, it should make sense. Anybody can talk. You let a child stand for 1 hour and ask them to talk, they will talk anything that is random. But to hold a conversation, to counsel, to mentor somebody, your conversation should make sense. It should have an outcome. So for students' well-being these days, they are overwhelmed with things. For students' well-being, for their emotional intelligence, because of the peer pressure they have, they also the senior ones also start facing the career counseling of career issues. So you can be a counselor as well as a mentor. There are also you can also run teacher mentoring programs inside the school. So if you are qualified, if you don't have the qualification, go for it. If you are I'm sorry. If you are qualified enough to do it, please do it. Don't step back. Don't think this is not something that I cannot do. Again, I'm saying you are already a teacher, you're already a mentor, you're already a facilitator. You just need that one qualification that is required. And again, I'll tell you why it is required. So most of the students, in case of emotionally being unwell, feeling pressure, feeling issues, tension, they don't talk to you. Some of them will come and talk to you if you're a very friendly teacher, but they will only just come and talk. And most of the teenagers will talk to their friends. So think of a scenario that they're emotionally stressed. There are issues going on. They're not getting good grades. They have a pressure. They want to become good in their careers. But the people they're talking to is another teenager. So a 15-year-old having issues is talking to another 15-year-old and seeking counseling from them. Do you think there is going to be a good counseling? It's like a blind leading another blind. So
Yes.
if they know that we have a teacher, we have a counselor in the school, they will come and they will talk to you. So have you faced any students like these who had such issues and they came and talked to you? Anybody, if you faced anything, and how did you do it? Anybody who can share the experience and how were you able to do it?
So as a teacher, we listen to them patiently. We give
Hmm.
them some basic our own life experiences, that it is not them, that they are not alone in this. Even
Hmm.
we have gone through some situations, not very similar, but yeah, somewhat close by. And then we try to help them in the best possible way to try to take out all the negative thoughts that they have, and to tell them that we are there, just as a support, to listen to them, be there for them. That is what we do basically.
Yes. So you did it as a teacher. You all of you have been doing it as a teacher. Like you are listening to their problems. But at one point of time, you also feel like you're not qualified enough or you're not able to give the correct answer that they were looking for. Because they look forward to all the correct answers. So yes, you if you are good at it, if you feel like that's also one of the pathways within the school or maybe outside the school that you can become a counselor or a mentor. And it's not only the students that you have to counsel, it's also the parent. It is also the parent that you need to talk. And it's also the management, like the parents' relation with the school, the parents' relation with you, the parents' relationship with the child. That is all a part of the counselor as well as the mentor. Okay. Now, beyond the classroom. Outside the classroom or outside the school, what all can you do? So these are some of the things that you can lead assemblies, right? You can lead assemblies. You must have heard those UN, the model UN nations. You can lead the cultural activities outside the school. You can go for school events. If you are a person who likes being in the culturals, you can guide the students. Not only your school students, you can run a center where you are helping them in assemblies and model UNs, learning them how to do debates, a good debates, theatricals, science fairs and exhibitions. You can also help them in writing the content for school magazines, how to write a newsletter, how to do a publication. So many of the students are good with language. They know how to write. Yeah, you can organize fairs, markets. You can help in the community as well. As we were talking about the SDG goals, you can only not only organize the fairs for your classroom or your students or your school, you can also organize fairs. You can also run as an NGO. Excursions, yes. Then there's a part like now as I've seen the students are losing that scientific temperament. The students are losing that writing. We have very less authors. There are arranging even classes for underprivileged children. Yes, ma'am, that's cool. Again, I was talking about the authors. If you have seen that the number of people, the number of writers are lowering. It's like drastically going down. And even if we have writers, most of the writers are now writing for movies. I don't know how much like novels. I was never much fan of novels or authors, but I always wanted to read the novels which are not the part of a movie script. So this is how you can invite the mod, like invite the achievers to the schools. And I loved how you set the role models and achievers instead of the influencers. That's a good thing again. That if you will ask the students that why don't you invite somebody, they will start naming some of the influencers. But yes, have to invite the role models, the people who are doing something for the nation, the people who are doing something globally, who are getting recognized for their work. You can, again, I'm getting wonderful answers. The tree plantation drives, you can coordinate your cultural programs, you can have a social connections, collecting funds. But again, while doing it, while doing it, do realize, do keep in mind that can you take it ahead as a career? Can you do it? Like somebody said, arranging story writing competitions, that is fine. That is good. You can like have a paid event as well. Unfortunately, this generation is not interested in reading. That is true, ma'am. It's also the problem that we face with the younger parents. That the kid who is in the classroom, वो या बच्चा घर में, वो बच्चा घर में भी तो नहीं देखता ना कि पेरेंट्स पढ़ रहे हैं. If my parent, if somebody who's around me is 24/7 on the mobile phone, you cannot expect me to read a book. Some of them have love reading books, but most of them are getting molded because of their parents' habits. So social media is controlling their lives because social media is controlling their parents' lives. So you can have a conversation with the parents. Now again, the parents will not change. It's very difficult to change the parents. They will listen to some part of what you're saying, but they might agree to what all are you saying. So what you can do is let's try doing things that are still possible for you. So arranging every day or every 2 days you can have a library day where ensure that no subject teacher is taking over that story reading, that library class, ensuring that even if there is a games period and there is a lot of syllabus left in your maths or English, ensuring that the teacher is not going to take that lecture as a free lecture and overtake it. No. So that is how you will build it. We want that our students should be a Mary Kom, why not next Virat Kohli, and why not this and that? Are we supporting them? We take those games lecture as a free lecture. It's not important. Why do you want to learn? Like you are anyways running around the entire lecture. You are anyways running around this and that. Now, we are the ones who are responsible for that. And then the second part, are we hiring the correct people? So you need to be qualified enough. If you have that qualification, if you know how to do it, start putting your points and the management will listen to you. So you can also take extra classes. You can take classes after the school. You have to give that 1 hour. If you want something to happen, the change will start with you. Run a classroom, run some library days in your classroom and ensure that you are not doing anything else. If it's a library day, if it is a book day, it is a book day for the teacher as well. That's a good thing, Rebecca ma'am, that you have reading book corners in every classroom, but ensure that you are using it and you are doing it because you are the model. You are ensuring that it is happening. So anything, if you want it for them, it's not their fault that they are born to a generation that the gender alpha is born in the era of social media. It's not their fault. It's our fault. It's the adults' fault. It's how they learn. So if you say, if the parents are making them dance on the reels, how will you expect them to learn? Right? So it's the adults' fault. So start having conversation with the parents. And again, I will repeat the same thing. The parent will listen to you when you will be qualified enough. So upscale yourself. Every day, try to do something where you are upgrading yourself. That's how it works. It's a two-way street. You have to, and then again, it's not an equal two-way street. You will be stepping 10 steps forward, and the parent will be stepping only 2 steps forward. And then they expect that everything that happens in their kid's life is your responsibility. It is. I'm sorry, but it is. So, how will you do it? You will upscale yourself. If you want to guide students to a model UN nations, how will you do it? You should have an idea. If you want the student to learn how to debate, You should learn how to debate. You have to tell them what a good debate is. If you want them theatrics, like a person who should be good in theaters, look for the teacher in your school who is good in theaters. Maybe you are a teacher who's like responsible for the dances and the culturals, but take support from your friend, from that colleague. So when I was teaching, I used to teach science, but I was the person who was very interested in NCC. I have done NCC for 2 years in my school life. So whenever there was a parade going in my class, in my school, I used to do it. I took that initiative that I will do it and I will help. So you are peers to each other, help each other. Then if you know how to write, tell them how to write. Take a workshop, take a mini workshop with the students. Take a mini workshop with all of the school there and tell them how to write a story. Then only they will learn how to write an article, how to write a newspaper. And when you will start writing, there is no stopping you. You can be a published author as well. Most of the authors, they always start as a teachers because they have the subject knowledge. And again, to be an author, you have to have that pedagogical mastery. Yes, that's a good thing that you do a newspaper reading in the classroom. With newspaper reading, you're also building the critical thinking and the observation and the problem solving skills. These are all the skills that you are building within the classroom. And I love when teachers share such good insights, the good habits, the good things that you are doing in your classroom. It helps your colleagues. So if you are doing something that is very different and that you think that is going to help their students as well, use this webinar as a platform and let them know. And again, if you're talking about their interest, also you should be telling them about your interests, how you were doing it. Now, these are your skills for the future ready teachers. Okay. So again, these are 8 skills. We discussed 5 skills. Some of them are repeating, some of them are missing. Are you sure? I want you all of you to have these skills, but now what I want you to do is to learn a skill, you need to plan and prioritize. Not everybody is good at communication, but but that same person can be a good leader. So what I want to do is, it's 8 skills, number them, that prioritize them. The first that I want to learn about EI. If you are good at leadership, so in your priority of learning, वो skill सबसे नीचे जाना चाहिए. So if you have to learn these skills, let me know in the chat box which is the first skill that you will learn and then number it accordingly. So 1 to 8, what will the most important skill that you want to learn and then go on. So for me, I will put communication at 8th number because that is the skill I am good at. But I might be putting publication as number 1 because I need to learn how to write. So you have to plan and prioritize your skills. So why don't you share what's your first skill that you want to learn and then 1 to 8. Use the chat box to do so. Teachers, I want you to write all 8, not the only first, but all 8 of them. So this is like going to be a plan for yourself that if you start, okay, yes, that's I got the first, counseling is the first, leadership is the last, publication 8. So this is going to be a plan for yourself that this is how. So when you are doing it, you're also looking at yourself and thinking, what is the skill that as a teacher I am missing? So you will prioritize that. So instead of writing just one skill, write all of the 8 in an order कि मुझे ये सबसे पहले सीखना है, फिर ये सीखना है, फिर ये सीखना है. That's how we will do it. So what you're doing right now is just a planning activity for yourself. And if you want to add anything that you felt, yes, just say, okay, career guidance, you can add it as well. Yes. Counseling, mentoring, networking, counseling. Most of you are putting counseling as the number one. Communication, network, counseling again. Mentoring and counseling is something that most of you are prioritizing. Okay. So why is this activity important? We keep saying that the skills are important. We need to learn the skills. We have to learn the skills. We will do it from tomorrow. And then we realize, okay, this is also the skill that is missing. This is also something that I want to learn. In that manner, we just lose ourselves. So, why is it important? You always ask students to plan. That's what you tell your kids, na? Whosoever there's a younger kid right next to you, or if even if you see whatever you are doing, you always start with planning. You start your chapter with lesson planning. If you have to go on a vacation, you start your plans that okay, this is the first thing where I'll go, then this is the second place where I'll go. If you're going to a restaurant, you plan what all you will eat. If you're going to a party, you plan on what all you are going to wear. So, planning is the most important part. But we always lose on planning when it is planning about learning. When it is planning about us. If I want to do something, if I want to learn something, we keep pushing that plans, and then we feel like I don't want to do it anymore. So, this is great that now. And please, while you are answering these chats in the chat box, ensure that you are making a note of it. That after today's session, it's Saturday today, then there is Sunday tomorrow. Take a break, have fun, enjoy, give time to yourself, take a walk, go in a garden, do some gardening, use the spoons for gardening, use the spoon for doing any skill that you love. But start doing it from Monday. If you're lacking the networking, all of you sit in a staff room. Start your network from there. If there's a teacher you feel like is unapproachable, talk to her or talk to him. Currently, also, we are 482 in this session. It's a good place to network with each other. You can simply drop a hi to anybody and somebody else will reply. That's how the networking works. And again, the current generation is really good at network. So most of you are writing it now. That's good. Just an example that I wanted to try that what you do is how networking starts. Networking takes a lot of skill to start. So what you can do is if you want to try how networking works, anybody, anyone, just write a hi on the chat box, okay? But now what I want you to do is some of you most of you teachers are from different schools, which means आप एक दूसरे को कुछ कुछ जानते होंगे. आप आपको एक दूसरे के हाई पे कमेंट करना है. Let's see how many networks can you create. So I have some teachers writing hi, but use the chat box to reply to that hi. Like I will reply to Anita ma'am. आप अपने hi पे click करते हो ना, so you get an option to reply on that hi like this. That's how the networking starts. That you are talking to each other currently. Yes, Sophia ma'am said hi. Shahrus replied with a smiley. Okay, do not put hi and smileys in the known people. That's not networking. That's a simple conversation within the friend, between the teachers and the colleagues. Try making connections with new people. Hi, Sharma ma'am. Yes. Yeah, today students are more comfortable on social networking platforms, obviously. We are lacking those skills. I keep telling that. As the millennials, we lack those skills. The Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, they don't. So now when everybody is saying hi, you can see each other's names. Some of you are with Zoom users and not. Okay. I believe after these highs, we are going to talk to each other. Please do that. So a simple hello and a simple hi can lead to networking. That's how the networking works. Taking the first step is the most difficult one. It's the most difficult part. Introducing yourself to a group of 450 people is the most difficult part. And then conversing that and then starting a conversation is not that difficult. That's how the network works. And that's why the students are so good at social networking. You leave this new Gen Z anywhere in the world, anywhere in bunch of 50 people, they will come out with friends. But will you be able to do that? If I will leave you, I'll ask you to go in a group of 50 strangers and tell them about yourself. Some of you will be good at it, and some of you will just not talk. That's how the networking works. And then the networking also comes with the skill of communication. You should learn how to communicate. When you communicate, it's not just the verbal communication, it's also the non verbal communication. I can say hi and I can make a weird face after it, and you will feel that there is no vibe. The kids say, no, oh, there is no vibe in it. That's the problem. So, your verbal and non verbal communication is the part of your communication and your networking as well. So, yes, thank you so much for being such a nice people and I have so many highs in the group right now. And we'll keep continuing. Hi everyone. आपको जिसको भी लग रहा है, please do not send kisses to each other. Don't do that. How will I know? इतना फ्रेंडली नहीं होना, just friendly होना है. अभी हम networking कर रहे हैं. Let's do the networking. Let's not make it a social networking. Okay? So moving to next. Wait, I just missed it. These are the pathways that are beyond schools as well. So if you are a mentor, if you are good at mentoring and if you start with those communication, if you start with counseling, if you start with emotional intelligence, you can become a trainer and you can conduct the workshops. These jobs are called TTT, which are train the trainer, okay, or train the teacher. So there is an option of teachers and trainers. If you are good in publication, some of you gave it 8, while some of you started with 1. So that publication skill can lead you to writing the books, the blogs, the curriculum content. You can be invited as an author to talk to the students, to talk to the teachers, to talk about your books. You can start an entrepreneur. You can be an entrepreneur. As I said, you can tutor. You can create those online sessions. You can not only the online sessions, you can also create online papers, online journals, online articles that can be shared. That is also a resource hub. So on LinkedIn, I follow a person who is very good at AI. He doesn't train. He's not a teacher trainer, but he's a wonderful writer, and he gives really good articles on AI. So that's how you can become an entrepreneur. You can start putting it everywhere. If you don't want to publish it, you can use article. You can use your social media platforms. If you're good at writing poems, use the social media platforms. You can also do the consultancy. So schools at times need help for externals for designing the curriculum. If you're good at doing it, school might reach out to you as well. You can help them in policies. You can help them in audits that are going on. So these are again very few pathways. These are very few pathways. That these all the pathways can lead to multiple more pathways. Okay. So again, the part is you can be anything, but you need to develop the skill. You can be any person that you want to be. Like as we said, some of you wanted to be scientists. Again, if that age has passed, what you can do is you can create a resource hub. You can have a center where you are teaching the students, where you're teaching some of the chemistry practicals that cannot be done in school. You can connect to a lab in a university which has more of the options, more of the instruments. You can connect with them. You can go for a walk. You can take your students there. There will be multiple planetarium science exhibitions going in your cities. connect with them. You can also be there as a presenter. There is no age limit for publishing a paper, so you can connect with the university, work on a research, something that you like, and then again you can publish your paper, you can present your paper, you can attend various workshops as an author, as a teacher, as a researcher, anyone. So start looking for the pathways that are available online. There are multiple talks that keep happening every other day. Attend them. Get certified. Even if there is no certification, there will be something that you will learn from that particular webinars or the session. So do not leave the session just because they're not giving a certificate. There might be something provided that's very knowledgeable to you. So you will learn about a new thing anyways. Now, if you move next, there is a career roadmap. So I just created a very short-term career roadmap that, as we said, that there should be some sessions, some careers that are short-lived and then some careers are long-lived. Why is it short-lived and long-lived? Is not because of you. It is because of the changing world. So 5 years back, or maybe 10 years back, there was no such thing as a YouTuber, right? There was no such thing as a YouTuber. But today, there are YouTubers. There are people creating content on YouTube. There are people who are talking about it. There are podcasters. So those were, now these such careers can be said a short term, a short lived, or a long lived ones. That's how, because of the changing frames. Maybe there will be a time. So if you see, honestly, google came google was came in 1998. Before that, all of us were going to libraries. Before that, all of us were going for articles. We used to read that and we used to create things. So that was the thing. Now the libraries are only in schools, because nobody else is going for library. They just go for Google. They just Google it. And even if the worst example of, I'll tell a short-lived and a long-lived thing is, I don't know whether you had that account or not, but most of our first email account was Yahoo Mail. It was Yahoo. And then after Yahoo, the social media platform that we used was Orkut. It's nowhere now. So that was a short-lived thing because Google upgraded itself and we got Gmail. With Gmail, it came Google Drive, we have Google Photos, we have Excel, we have presentations and whatnot. It's not just an email. You can create anything out of it. And then Orkut stopped because Facebook was there. So you see, same thing, but they thought about something creative and innovative. They used the same platforms and they upgraded. The moment they upgraded, older versions stopped working. iPhones upgrade होते जाते हैं, लोग नए नए खरीदने जाते हैं, पुराने छोड़ते जाते हैं. So that's the upgrade. So again, no career is short lived if you're upgrading yourself. Keep that thing in mind. Now, your short term, if you're looking for a short term, you can participate in the workshops. You can take the small leadership roles. That is going to be a short term for 1 to 2 years. But if you're looking for a long term, then you have a midterm where you have 3 to 5 years, you can see. So for 3 to 5 years, you can lead the subject departments. So you're an English teacher, you can be an English HOD, a maths HOD. You can become the CBSE resource person. You can be the government resource person, because they look for the teachers who are good in their areas, who are innovative in their areas. Being good is not enough. You need to be innovative as well. You can be author. You can create the learning materials. So even if you're not very good at creating a book, but you can still, or publishing a journal, but you can create good PPTs, you can create good worksheets, you can create good question papers. These are all the learning materials. Or with the help of AI or anything, you can create a good learning video. That is also the learning material that you can create. But then again, it is going to be for 3 to 5 years, and the technology will upgrade and something else or AI will create it by itself. Now, the Grok is already doing it. For the long term, if you're looking for for 5 to 10 years, you can take the leadership roles. You can become the principal, you can become the school director, vice principal, or if you want, you can diversify into training. You can become the trainer, you can become the consultant, you can start your own school, anything. So these are your long ones. So if you see, I will go back again. For short term, if you're looking for next 1 to 2 years, only for 1 to 2 years, you can participate, you can coordinate, you can moderate the workshops. You can become an ICT expert, or you can take the small leadership roles as like you can go with the team in a quiz in another school as a teacher, but the students are going to quiz. So these are very short lived. If you're looking for the career for next 3 to 5 years, you can become an HOD, you can become a resource person, a government certified resource person, or a Google certified resource person. You can author the learning materials. But if you're looking for a long term goals, you can become the author to the good published books. There are multiple books that I used to read and it's still there. The author is still there. You can take up the leadership roles. You can become an entrepreneur, and you can also become a well published author. That's totally up to you. But the growth, there can be a milestones. Like if you are looking for growth, what you can do is start with the certifications. Again, as I said, qualification is very important. If you're happy where you are, you're never going to, move ahead because you're stuck at a place you are comfortable in your own cocoon. You have to come out from there. You're getting up in the morning, you are attending the school, you are coming back, you are eating, you are resting, you're preparing for the next day. That's your cocoon. Come out from there. Start looking time, start giving time to yourself, okay? Obtain the essential credentials for your, obtain the essential certificates. If you get to come across with some certificates that will help your friends as well, please help them. Because you only tell your child, you only tell your student that sharing is caring. So let's not forget that sharing is always caring. It's a peer thing, it's a friends thing that we do. If you know that there's a certification going, please let your peers know. Let them know. And now it's up to them whether they want to do it or not. Then moving is next is promotions. If you're being offered, I understand. With promotion comes extra responsibilities. It's fine. That's how you develop. That's how you learn. So, as we say, you make the naughtiest kid the classroom monitor. What you're doing is you are promoting the naughtiest kid to a classroom monitor. And now you know that because of that extra responsibility, the kid will not do the things anymore. Sudhar jayega. So what you're looking for is that again, you're putting that kid out of their cocoon. You're putting that kid in a situation with which he or she is not very comfortable. But what you want is you want them to learn. You want them to develop. Same thing goes with promotion. With senior positions, yes, extra responsibility do comes in your way, but you will also learn. You cannot jump to become a principal if you do not take the small leadership roles. You have to be a good leader to do that, an empathetic leader to be able to do that. So, yes, start taking the promotions. Look, and when you start taking those, when you start taking charge of these teams, when you start taking charge of the initiatives that are going, you will be slowly and steadily progressing towards the leadership roles. So that's how you can come up with the milestone. That the first milestone for me is to get a certificate, is to get the correct qualification. Next is when I get the qualification, when I'm able to do that, again the system will see and I will be promoted to be something. When you are promoted, you are taking care, you're also developing more skills, you're developing the leadership skills, you're developing empathy, you're developing communication, you're developing networking, all the skills that are very important for a leader. After the leader, if you're still a principal and you're still looking for upscaling, you can move for the mentorship programs. These mentorship programs are very important for the new educators in the journey. Some of the students, like some of the teachers, as they wrote that it was because of these circumstances, but I believe now you are enjoying the journey. So there must be teachers who are still in that same question. There must be students who think that being teacher is the last option. So you can take those career guidance sessions with them. Like, think of it that a principal is standing, a director of a school is standing in my classroom in a college and telling me how wonderful the journey has been. So it gives an effect. So you can lead the mentorship programs, you can lead the train the trainer programs, you can train your teachers as well. There are also some resources. As we talked about, there are multiple things. You can be a CBSE resource and everything. These are also some of the resources that you can use. There is a school innovation ambassador program. Again, Why would I put it is it's not necessary that these are available in all the states and all the cities, but these are some of the programs that are available. There are Nishtha modules to be completed. You can complete these are online modules. You can sit at home and complete it. Try to do that. If not, look for the IB workshops, the IB curriculums, the Cambridge workshops. There are online multiple platforms. There are certain courses that are paid, there are certain courses that are free. So if you want to learn, as ये आप बच्चों को भी कहते होगे, that if you want to learn, there is no stopping. There is nothing that can stop you if you want to learn really well. That's how it works. So even if you want to learn and you're stuck somewhere, go to Google and literally just put the resources or the training programs available for the teachers, and you will get it. So you can be you can get your certification from there as well. Now, I just found this really good saying by Nelson Mandela because, yes, we do talk about globalization, and I always find something good from somewhere else. It's like education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It is the key to unlock potential and foster societal progress. By investing in education, we create opportunities for growth, understanding, and a brighter future for generations to come. So, as a teachers, you're already investing in education, but as again, you also need to invest in yourself. Create your own opportunities for growth, create that understanding, and the future is bright for you as well as for the generations that you are teaching. So, with this, I end my session. But as I said, thank you for all the attention that you gave me. But if you have any queries related to anything, we will be here for next 5 minutes. I am here. I'm sitting with you. If there is any queries, it's something that you want to share with me, some good thing that you're already doing in your classroom, and you figured it out that it's helping your students and other teachers can also do, please share in the chat box. If any activity, any type of learning that you're doing in your classroom, let your colleagues know. That's how we are going to help each other. So we'll be here till 2:05. It's only 1:59 right now, 6 more minutes. I would love, yeah, brainstorming. That's a good thing that you're doing. So brainstorming can also be done at any level. It can just activities needs to be changed. There is no such activity that is only for the junior kids or for the senior kids. You just have to tweak that activity as per your learners. And I will keep saying learners because we all are learners. You are the teachers, you are the educators, but again, you are the learners. I am getting so many thank yous, but I'm not getting the questions. I would love to have some questions. I would love to have some insights that you share with your classes. It's great to see that it was good and it was helpful. Thank you so much. And I would love if you start doing it in your classrooms.
And in my class, in a week, I did them speaking hours, which I who is good in mimicry, who is good in poem, or who is good in making jokes, the child, their ideas.
That's a good thing. Again, I'm saying that it's like 400 of us are sitting here and all of you do something different in your classrooms. So if you share this with each other, you are helping your peers. And that's where the networking starts. It's not just dropping a hi there. And I know all of you love teaching and I know all of you love your students as well. Define a future ready teacher in one word according to you, ma'am. So I am always a person who is very much into self-awareness. So I will say for me, it is going to be a self-aware teacher. A self-aware teacher is ready to take on any challenges that is coming. So a future-ready teacher is also a self-aware teacher. I am not sure about it, Vivek sir, but if there might be some discussions, there is no such thing still out there. But yeah, it can be. So I will not be the right person to answer the questions that are related to the boards or the councils or the systems I will be the right person to answer the sessions on the topics like skills and everything. So your upgradation start from the self-awareness. I connect to the Gen Z. My session also includes techno gamers, 5 minutes crafts. Yes, these are the really good things, Prachi ma'am. And now you are going to get the Gen Alpha as well. So you might need to upgrade a little more that the crafts, the YouTube and everything. Mary ma'am, when I see that my students stop taking interest in studies and listening, I play games with them. Yes, that's a good thing. That we feel like that we might lose those 5 minutes, but if you stop doing that, you're going to you're going to miss the entire class after that. So a quick energizer, a quick icebreaker, a quick check is very important because all of us understand that the attention span is very less. If we skip the classroom, your attention span is again going to be very less. So it's a good thing to take out 5 minutes in between there and they just get their energy back and they're coming back.
So, ma'am, can I come in here, Harika, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On behalf of our interstate board, I'd like to thank you very much to the very knowledgeable and very interesting session. And for all the teachers who were here and others, they can approach their principals and give their names in. The principals will send the list to the interstate board. We'll be issuing them certificates on behalf of our board. And we hope to see them next time when we have another session. And I just want to apologize that we had catered for 500. We did not think that we will overstep. Some schools couldn't join, but I'm sure some of them joined the online YouTube link that was sent. But next time we'll take care of this. We'll increase the number. And if we can have you back again for some more schools, we'll be happy to have you back. I'll talk to the people concerned because a lot of other schools have been left out today due to many other reasons. So thank you very much. And I hope everyone has enjoyed the session today. Thank you all.
Thank
you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was such a nice session, and we will definitely apply many learnings in our class. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.